while, it's been good for them.
They're having to play with that meat.
What's the kid's surgery?
Same one Zoe took me. An extra bone in the foot or something.
Huh.
They're shaving it to make it more comfortable or something.
Yeah.
It worked wonders for them.
Did it really? Because she is painful.
Zoe hurt like last year. She was
But Ava, this year she will. I don't think we talked about that. Is she, so she's Belmont's good. I mean, she's not. You teach at the.
She won't get recruited. College coaches don't recruit.
Changed the whole landscape.
College coaches don't recruit.
We're trying to get transfers.
So now what you almost have to do
You ain't gotta say it.
unless you are just a 5-star,
Yeah, sure.
like you're saying.
Of course.
But if you're like Elisha, if you're like David, you're probably
We'll call the public safety meeting to order. Bear with me, I don't have an agenda. I guess the first thing to do is call the roll.
Matthew Barnhill.
Here.
Claude Calapont.
Here.
Clay Chester.
Here.
Danny Clark.
Here.
Todd Collins. Steve Giannakis.
Here.
Jim Heron. Dusty Jordan.
Here.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray. Keith Nash. Devin Pickard.
Here.
Ronald Puckett.
here.
And Wayne Thomason. Got 10 present, 4 absent.
And present, 4 absent, we have a quorum. Next order, approval of the agenda. Motion to approve. Motion by Ron Mayberry to approve the agenda, seconded by Devin Pickard. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next part is public comment period. I don't think anybody signed. Does anybody want to speak on the? Next order of business is adoption of the minutes from the last meeting. Motion by Commissioner Barnhill, seconded by Commissioner Mayberry. Is there any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're to monthly reports. The sheriff's not here. He sent his in via email. Jesse, you doing the ambulance service?
Yeah. I sent them in to Christie, but I think some of you may or may not have got them, so. The monthly report, we had 258 runs, with collections, we had $98,995.90, and charged out $85,968.67.
You got a motion to approve, motion by Commissioner Mayberry, seconded by Commissioner Barnhill, to approve the ambulance services financial statement.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Claude Calapont.
Yes.
Clay Chester.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Giannakis.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ron Puckett.
Yes.
All present voting yes.
Anybody want to change your vote? Good. Do you have anything, Pete?
We're in the final stages of working on the grant for the generators for the EMS stations at this time. We're finalizing some paperwork there. We've got a little ways further to go on the FEMA, burn paperwork, but that's coming to a close pretty quick as well. I think June 10th is the last day the public can sign up for, anytime
once this is done, how many generators will we have?
As far as for this grant,
No, but how many generators will Hickman County be responsible for?
just those three.
That's it?
Yeah, cause 911 is gonna be taking over the tower sites generators, so that's going to 911 board. And so we'll only have those three generators. And actually, the city will be responsible for one of those, so technically,
Okay, so that,
EMS station 1, EMS station 2.
but 911's gonna cover the tower sites.
Correct.
That, okay. I was just trying to figure out who's gonna be responsible for the maintenance and everything else on it.
So the county will be responsible for EMS station 1, station 2, station 3. But 3 already has a generator, so.
Does anybody else have anything for Pete? Maintenance director's not here. Did you have something, or Becky, or you just wait until after this meeting's over with? Well, that pretty much takes care of the committee reports, and we can move on to new business. I guess that's you, Mayor. You wanted to talk about the EMS Station 3?
Well, yep, we're kinda in a dilemma. It is open, for business 12 hours a day at this point. We're running 12-hour shifts. Jesse was able to staff it for right now. So we're looking at two options. If we wanna go to a 24-hour shift, either we're gonna have, or if we keep it 12 hours, we're gonna have to either hire people for 12-hour shifts, or we're gonna have to sprinkler the building. That's the two options. But I'm gonna leave that up to this committee as to what we do. Now, I will say this. At the very beginning of this ordeal, I did receive a letter from the fire marshal's office that stated that there was a no review on this building. I can't really say because of hearsay through the grapevine, because I don't know if it's actual fact, but the facts do kinda add up. When the fire marshal came by, he could've stopped by a year ago and told us something different instead of doing what he done. It wasn't the exact fire marshal, it was the inspector. One of the fire marshal's inspectors. But that doesn't help us here or now. This is the boat we're in. We're either gonna have to hire people for 12-hour shifts or sprinkle the building and move an ambulance out there 24 hours. That's the predicament we're in.
Mr. Mayberry?
What's it gonna cost to sprinkle the building?
I have not checked on the sprinkler system yet. I did talk to Mr. Blosted, about it. He said when he checked on it, it was anywhere from, Danny, you may have to help me out here, cause I'm not a construction guy. Up to $70,000.
Is that left in the budget we approved for that building?
That building's final price tag was right on the money at $1.2 million, sir.
I've got that. I don't remember the exact amount we approved, but, there's $21,000 and some change left in what was appropriated for that building.
So we're still $50,000 out, if.
I think that's at the most. There's a few variables that the reason Eric wouldn't give a closer price than he did is there's a few variables he was gonna have to check out. And I think the number he gave the mayor was on the extreme high end of it. There was a couple of things. He told me he would probably have a real good idea by the time we met at the full body on what it would take. It was just some stuff he wanted to work out first before he said. But to talk about it, $70,000 to do it. Yes, Dusty?
if the $70,000 were available, do we have enough water pressure out there to run sprinkler sprinklers?
That was, before, and the mayor's, I've seen it, there was a no review on that building. Fire Marshal's plan review board gave a no review on that building to the plans that were submitted, said it didn't need a sprinkler system. Eric had already contacted Von Aquilauer Utility, and Brad Barnes went down there and did the capacity, the pressure and flow, and it's more than adequate to sprinkle the building. They won't, that's the reason that it's 70 and down, because they won't have to have a tank or a pressure tank to make it work. And then that was there's no use in messing with the fire marshal, but the goalposts were moved, there's no doubt about that. I'm sure the mayor can come up with the fire marshal's office in Nashville, the state fire marshal's office, saying that's a no review building, and then an inspector said he wanted a sprinkler in it. And I think we're in a situation that the higher ups will not overrule the one that moved the goalpost on us. That doesn't fix anything. If you want something to think about, I would ask Mr. Woodall what it would cost to hire another 12-hour crew, that you had to move all the money around to do that, so you'll be able to get pretty close on it.
I have the numbers to staff it 7 days a week for 12 hours a day. You're gonna have to hire 4 additional staff, and without benefits, it's $275,000 a year.
If y'all not able to keep up, the alternative is move one of the crews from the east station. Right now, what Jesse's done is both crews will stay at the east station, and there'll be a 12-hour crew go in that building every day. And to keep that up would be the number that after the month of June, it'll take the amount of money that he just said. If the building was sprinkled, the fire marshal would allow one of the crews from east to move down there and run that building 24 hours a day.
Correct.
We still the ones with the football, but somebody else is the referee.
Welcome to the world of the fire marshal's office.
Jesse, what was your number again, sir?
To hire 4 additional staff, work 12 hours a day, you're looking at $275,000 a year.
Versus a what sprinkler
That's
system?
with no benefits too.
That's not benefits included, that's just payroll.
Well, high end numbers is one time $70,000.
When will we know a number, a real number?
I'm hoping by the time we meet as a full body,
I know you said that, but I want to make sure.
we don't, I mean, I don't really know what to do now, we don't have anything to vote on. I wish it was a situation that we could set a plan out there to say yes or no to, but we're not there yet. The thing about it'd still be somewhat of a guess, because that sprinkle system would have to be, just like the building, designed and approved by the fire marshal's office. We wouldn't wanna go down there and just start sticking sprinklers on the roof and they move the goalpost again. So the building will, I can say this, there's no way, money aside, that the building will be sprinkled before the budget adjustment that Jesse has done to put the 12-hour crew in there has exhausted itself. I mean, I would say plans and approval and execution, we're 3 months. We're 3 months before the building could take a 24-hour crew. Yes.
I'm gonna ask this one to the mayor, but anybody that knows can answer. There was a whole lot of, I don't know what word to use, and I can't think of nothing else but ugly, but will the ambulance still fit in there if we sprinkle this thing?
Yes.
Alright.
Clay?
If you reference those original plans that we got approval for, I forgot the word you used for it, but no review. did those original plans that got that no review make clear that we planned on putting a crew there 24 hours a day and there would be a sleeping quarters in there? Because I know that changes the regulations, so was that clear on the front end that that's what we were intending to do with that building?
I conveyed that to the contractor, yes, and what they got was a personal workspace on the plan.
The architect.
The architect put that on there. And the architect was the one responsible for sending the plans to the state fire marshal's office. So when I got the letter of no review, that means move forward.
But that was based on that being a personal workspace, not a living quarters though. If that's what they actually laid eyes on.
I know we're never supposed to assume, Mr. Chester, but I assume yes. I don't know.
All right, my next question is, as we went through the different stages of renovating that building, who was overseeing each of those steps? Was that you, or was that Mr. Howell, or?
I guess I had the final oversight, but I hired Eric Blysted to be the general manager of that project. And Mr. Howe did a lot of the work and was overseeing it as well.
I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Matthew?
What's the next plan? I mean, have you contacted any sprinkler companies? Cause they got engineers on site, you know, they need to be contacted. They'll write an estimate and give you a timeline and everything. Has any of them been
No, sir,
contacted?
I have not, because I wanted to see what this body wanted to do.
I think that would give us a little more information to see which way we would wanna go.
Would you like to suggest that the mayor do that tomorrow?
Yes.
Can you help him out with some contact information?
I know several.
Superior Fire is one.
Superior, Grand Fire. There's
I
about
have
five.
a right here, 15 from the sprinkler system, I love it, it's that you kept that system going.
Yeah, there's several of them out there now.
Bouchard, I think, does them too, doesn't he?
And a lot of them got engineers on site that can draw the, you know, on payroll that can draw the plans. So,
No, it's not, when I mentioned it could take 3 months, that's having the farm marshal's
Marshal
office review that. I have no doubt there's 2 or 3 sprinkler companies around here that have the plans generated this month, by the end of the week, if they looked at it tomorrow, to be submitted. And to me, that's where we're at. Until we have that, we can't really do anything else. Just
I think we need to move forward with it. Matthew, I think he made a good, but I do understand there's folks in here, Commissioner Pickard brought it up last meeting, he would okay to spend another dime on that building. We've gone this far, we gotta get something done, like this body promised the community we would do. But it cannot be, you got Jesse's numbers of $250,000 without benefits. You had benefits, you're gonna add another $100,000 or so. And we got speculation of 70,000. We got 21,000 left in that line item. So, I mean, we've got to see what our next step is. We got a building we spent a ton of money on that's sitting there, not doing anything for anybody. And to do a 12-hour shift, might as well just run both out of east, you know, and not even occupy that building. And I know there's been a lot along the way, that has jumped up and bit us that we didn't foresee, but I think Matthew's got the right idea. We need to move on with something instead of sitting here twiddling our thumbs. How you?
Do you need that in the form of a motion, Jim, or? We're not asking you to sign a contract. If you,
I'll be glad to get the information.
if you got on it tomorrow, you could very well have the information by the time we meet at the budget committee a week from tonight. And since all this is gonna start with a budget amendment, that would put us in a situation by the time we meet as a full body at the end of the month, we could actually do something. Anybody have anything else?
Question. The 12-hour crew that we've got in there right now, is that money that was already in this year's budget to pay for that, or is that money that's expense we've
No,
taken?
unlucky for us, but lucky for this body, I'm short one critical care paramedic, cause he left 6 months ago, so I had his payroll to work with, and that's how I'm staffing that building right now until July 1st. With this year's budget, and I should still come in. Okay, how's that look, Chris? Before you look at me.
Well, that's incomplete. Go ahead, you probably shouldn't say it, but because of the efforts of Valerie Woodall and Crystal with the FEMA money, and the money we borrowed, they replenished the budgets of the sheriff department and, the ambulance service because of Acre Energetics and the,
That is also correct, in our overtime and part-time budget, that is correct.
that money was put back in there, so we gotta give credit where credit's due. They did that.
So when July 1 hits, if we still can't put an ambulance in that building 24 hours a day, and we continue to put that 12-hour crew in there, is that something that's accounted for in 101 going, so, but there's gonna have to be action by this body if we just continue on doing that at a price tag of $275,000 a year plus benefits, correct? Okay, 'cause this body needs to evaluate that before
Well, that's,
that time comes, I just clarifying.
no, that's absolutely right. And that's the reason, and the mayor, by the time we meet as a budget committee, should be able to tell us about how long it's gonna take to get the sprinklers in there, but whatever Jesse's number is on the, personnel for that, for 12 hours, there could well be a couple of months of that before we can put the 24-hour crew in there. Anybody have anything else? Do you have anything you wanna add, Jesse?
No, no, you covered about everything I had. I had it broke down to, cause it had been mentioned to just let one truck run around, go to the east station, then run to Pinewood, and go back and forth and all that. And just, it's financially, it's not feasible, just gasoline alone, if they only run 20 gallons out a day, you're looking at $26,000 a year just for fuel. Just running back and forth to the station, that's not counting making runs. So, I had it broke down and I sent it in my packet, but Christie didn't get out to y'all, I don't think, but I had it all broke down by the number there. Anybody'd like to see it after this, I'll be glad to show it to you.
Well, and I've visited the ambulance station on a few occasions to catch up with the directors. Those guys live out of their go bag, that 12 hours at one station, 12 hours at another station. Jesse might not wanna say it, but I can see that being damaging to morale, to an already low morale operation.
Right now, I promised them that I would do everything I could to get us a 24-hour truck in that building, which is what this body told me we was gonna have. And right now, they're buying what I'm selling on that, but if we do 12 hours and make them move around, they're not gonna buy it, they'll go, gone. Because, I mean, they live there a third of their life for 24 hours at a time, they work every third day.
suggestions, questions?
I got one more for Jesse,
Yes.
look here. So we had the last thing we voted on money-wise, there was a list of things that would finish up that building. So aside from the sprinklers, which we know, from the perspective of a emergency services person, what else does that building, we've got a lot of surprises, I'm tired of
I have
surprises.
a list,
What-
but none that concerns this body.
Okay.
We have budgeted for the other stuff
Okay,
that we have
well,
to
that's
put
what
in.
that's what I
We
want.
have to, I mean, there's a lot of small details, but we budgeted for that.
But that building would fit your needs of what you need once it's okayed by the fire marshal and we can
And I
put
can
it
run a
in.
24-hour truck.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to hear from your side.
To Clay's point, of the $21,000 left on the maintenance director's wish list, and he's been watching this budget, is about $12,000 in fencing.
Yeah.
That, we're in this deep, it would not do well not to fence it, and that was come out of the 21,000 that's available as you're rolling these numbers around. And when we get a more true number on the sprinkler and a time frame, we can talk about that more, but to Clay's point, there's really only about $9,000 there if we intend to follow through with the fencing. And that fences the property line, the whole property line with a gate. Now, they won't use the gate, unless there's nobody at the building, for whatever reason. But right now, all you gotta do is walk over there, and that might be something that is well worth the money. Yes, Steve?
The sheriff's department's still using the back little cubby and able to do some of their paperwork and things like that, so that's,
They'll use the gas pump,
okay.
that has its own bathroom, the little outcrop in the back has an office and its own bathroom, and that's dedicated for the sheriff's department.
And they are currently using it. They're currently using that?
Y'all using that at all?
No, sir, not yet.
I don't think the sheriff is, the gas pumps aren't fully operational yet, so that's a convenience for him more than a necessity.
Right.
Because actually, I asked Mr. Blasted to look at using that. The thing about the sprinkler is where the water comes into the building, that has to be accessible from the outside. Should a fire department have to go out there, they can get to it. And, I asked him about using that. The sheriff had said it won't stop his operation if he couldn't use it. And because of the in-ground utilities already, he just didn't see, the septic tank is back there, he just didn't see any way to get the water back there to it, that it would save anything. That building has a little office on the front of it, where the windows were on the front, and that's where he's thinking about coming in, because he can easily get there and not mess with any of the already in place utilities, and do I think, for lack of a better word, he called it a rise. That would be where if the fire department needed to hook a hose on, they would be able to hook a hose on at that point, and it has to have outside access, and that room does. Anything else? Anything y'all want the mayor to find out while he's,
If you can find out how quick the fire marshal will turn it around if we get them the engineering plans, and reach out to them so that way we know, it'd be great.
Basically, I think we need a price, the plan, and timeframe.
Timeline.
Not necessarily in that order.
I would like something, and I don't know who it is that would be requesting it. But when we submit submit the plan for the sprinkler system to the fire marshal's office, that won't be me. I would like in writing from the fire marshal's office that with that sprinkler system, that building is good to go, because, I wasn't there, but I've been told that the inspector, implied that there were other deficiencies in the building that he could act on. I don't believe that, but I don't wanna do this again. And because those comments were made, who's the manager, Jim? Who'd you deal with last, the inspector or his manager?
Well, the inspector and the manager both had a meeting in my office. I don't recall the manager's name, but I got his card there in my desk.
I don't wanna sprinkle the building and then we have to do this again.
Right.
My understanding, the deficiencies that were reported to them, or issues, they didn't find any of those. Is what best I read in the paper, unless I misunderstood it. So.
Well, I was told he made comments about the cook stove and the wall between the, ambulance bay and the living quarters. And both those are exactly the way they were put on the plan.
Was there a report?
Was there a written report,
No,
Jim?
normally they give you a written report on all that.
Sorry, I was over here making notes. What report would you like, sir?
Final report or agenda?
Oh, I was just curious, we're hearing, I heard this and I heard that. Normally, when I deal with the fire marshal, they give me a very detailed, this is good, this is good, this is not good, fix it.
Well, they did not list any specific thing other than initial inspection, conducting inspection at Hickman County EMS Station 3 in Pinewood on a complaint that the State Fire Marshal Office had received. This complaint stated Hickman County submitted plans on April 16th requesting no review for renovations of an existing building. Plan submitted at that time indicated that rooms 102 and 103 was office spaces. Currently function as a sleeping quarters. Plans and specifications shall be submitted. State Fire Marshal identifying all proposed sleeping quarters. Note that these changes require the building to meet all applicable codes requirements. We spoke with Assistant Director Jesse Woodall on site. He initiated calls and confirmed the intent to vacate the building and operate out of another station until further notice. The complaint on the Fire Marshal's report was building plans submitted required to the Tennessee State Fire Marshal's Office, sealed by a Tennessee registered architect or engineer based on building's occupancy type, location, and whether the project scope meets the definition of construction. That's what was listed on the report. So there was nothing about stove, hood, whatever.
In what you just read, you never mentioned sprinkler system either.
Mm-mm.
Back to what I just said, they'll move the goalpost again if before we put a sprinkler system in the building. I would like to know that sprinkler system takes care of all the issues. Not just one of possibly three, is my point.
That was just answering Mr. Puckett's question.
I know, but that it reinforced what I said.
Yes, sir.
I think we need a commitment from the fire marshal's office that, the sprinkler system in and of itself would make the building usable. So they don't back up again. It's not on, it's nothing you've done. It's just, I feel like they backed up on us once, they're liable to do it again.
And
Yes,
do we need to reword that to, is there anything else that needs to be addressed, or what else needs to be addressed to make this obstacle? Any obstacle that's in the way, whatever it may be, speak now, forever hold your peace.
The only obstacle we got is not 24 hours.
That's a pretty big hill. 200, what? $275,000 a year, plus benefits. We need to know if there's anything other than that sprinkler system standing in our way of opening this building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the way you word it to whoever you got to tell. What hoops do I gotta jump through to make this son of a gun run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from here on out? I yield.
Mr. Mayberry put my concerns pretty succinctly.
I wasn't tactful about it.
You're right.
Can you communicate with the fire marshal's office?
Call him tomorrow.
I would talk to the manager, not the inspector, and
Yeah, I'm about done with that inspector.
tell him, well, with the manager, that if we execute on the sprinkler system, is that gonna be it? Or is there another snake running around in the weeds there somewhere that they haven't? I feel like it may have been mentioned, but, so Matthew, you gonna get the mayor
I'm getting some notes.
contact, Jesse, you got a card on somebody out of
Columbia.
Columbia?
With me right now.
I would, ain't there a couple in Nashville, Superior?
There's some.
Yeah, they're probably few.
Does anybody have anything else? Do you have anything, Mr. Mayor?
Nope, I'm good.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a copy of that final inspection report emailed out, if he is able to find that. Unlike Mr. Puckett, there's gotta be a document somewhere that says exactly what we failed on the inspection. So if you could,
I got in this folder right here, Clay, you're welcome to any of it. Everything that they sent me.
there's no digital copies of anything?
Well, I got digits, they're on my email, I'll be glad to send them out, but it was just what I read, it's what it is.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Send that to all of us,
Yes, sir.
please.
That'll be the first thing I do when I get to the office in the morning. Would you like my letters that I sent back and corresponded with him too?
I just want the final, whatever we got shut down because of, whenever they inspected that building. There's got to be a document somewhere that says what that was. That's what I wanna see.
That's a good point right there, Clay. We were never shut down.
It was never closed down.
Well, whatever.
He never shut the building down. That's my concern. The inspection you would like a copy of, I can't say that it's occurred. It's almost like what happened out there that day was a group of people and there were some suggestions made. Mr. Lavengood and the mayor made a decision to pull the crew out. I don't disagree with the decision they made, but the fire marshal didn't throw them out of the building and lock the door. That's some Facebook news. I'm correct on that, aren't I, Jim?
Yes, that was, the director's sole option to have them move out of that station. Fire marshal did not close the building.
So it hasn't even been formally inspected, is that what?
According to what I got, it didn't have to be. I mean,
it's-
that's where I'm at. It's frustrating for me, guys, it really is. You know, you guys hammer me every month until we got this thing done, and that's okay. I'm ready to take the heat for it, but I'm telling you everything that I got. But I'll send you all an email tomorrow morning when I get to the office.
But the way that office worked, the people that gave the plans for no review probably have never laid eyes on the person that came out there and said the building needs to be sprinkled. Getting a bureaucracy like that to fix itself, I'd rather get an engineer to put a sprinkler system in it than to go down that road. But that's,
Yeah, I doubt it.
you what?
I doubt they give an answer. I doubt that they're gonna go on the record of saying, do this, this, and this, and everything's hunky-dory. I'd be shocked if they do that. So, but,
What's the
see.
answer to that?
I'll call them in the morning.
They can say 24 hours after.
But it was not padlocked, like a lot of people are saying it was. I think you were there, weren't you, Jesse?
I was.
I think Scotty put the fear in Allen that he would be personally responsible if anything happened.
Myself, because
Huh?
including myself, because I was the one there, he told me, he said, if anything happens, everybody from you up will be responsible for anything that happens in this building.
That's where that went down.
That includes us too, don't it, Jim?
Correct.
I'm just making sure.
Matthew?
Is there sprinklers in the one in the east?
No, it was good, before the law changed.
So the director of the ambulance service had to tell the boys to pack up and leave a building that's not sprinkled to go to a building that's not sprinkled. That's when I use the word bureaucracy, that's what we're up against.
And told you.
Don't try to make it make sense.
I don't know if, and the mayor's gonna talk to the fire marshal's office, the meeting that we had in his office after that, the inspector and his manager asked if they could walk through the building, and the manager went out, well, he took him out there, and he walked through the building, he said, guys, he said, this building's beautiful, it's very well done, sprinkle, that's all I'm asking, just sprinkle, and you'll be good. He did say that, but whether he'll go on record saying that, we'll see.
If he would, just in an email, if he would commit that the sprinkler would take care of the deficiencies that he saw in that building, because, and again, the deficiencies in what Jim read, they're not, none of them are mentioned. That's the reason I would like for you to, and talk to him, the manager. Anything else?